We won the First World War. We won the Second World War. We won everything before that and in between. And then we decided to go woke and we changed the name to Department of Defense. So we're going Department of War.
Of course, the Pentagon lost Vietnam because they were too woke. Forget jungle warfare, it was the pronouns that got us. And renaming it the Department of War, that's not strategy. That's a 12-year-old renaming his Xbox clan. Next week, he'll rebrand the DMV as Maximum Carnage Headquarters.
This country won every major war after that, to include World War I and World War II. Total victory, Mr. President.
Total victory? Sure, if you skip Vietnam, Korea, Afghanistan. Otherwise, America's win streak looks a lot like the New York Jets.
We changed the name after World War II from the Department of War to the Department of Defense in 1947.
Just a slight problem, Pete. It was 1949, not 1947. But yeah, obviously we stopped winning wars because of a main change. By that logic, if we rename Chuck E. Cheese to the Department of Pizza War, suddenly it's the most feared fighting force on Earth.
For the last 120 days, 0 people came in. Can you imagine? This is me speaking.
Oh, well thanks for clarifying, champ. Because if you hadn't said this is me speaking, I might have assumed it was the Easter Bunny reporting border stats. 0 crossings? That's not just false, it's mathematically impossible. People cross the street more than that.
Washington, D.C. is a totally safe city. We have virtually no crime.
Totally safe? Well, sure, if we were talking about the 5 minutes before the troops showed up. After that, safe was just a word on the teleprompter.
It's gone from the most unsafe city in the United States, almost, just about, to one of the safest cities, maybe the safest city in the United States.
Yeah, thanks to the National Guard, not patrolling, but literally laying mulch and planting shrubs around the Capitol. Apparently, lawn care is the new crime-preventing strategy. Forget cops on the beat. We've got gardeners on patrol.
We solved 7 wars. We have the one that I thought was going to be probably one of the easier ones, and that's with President Putin and Ukraine. And that turned out to be one that's a little bit more difficult.
Wait, wasn't this the guy who promised he'd solve Ukraine on day 1? Spoiler alert, it's been a lot more than that. And Putin's still shopping for new borders. So much for the easy one.
But the 7 are done. They were supposed to be much more difficult to solve. I solved every one of them. And we're going to get the other one done too. But it turned out to be a little bit more difficult than I thought.
7 wars solved, bitch please. His big strategy was tariffs and a few phone calls where he probably bragged about crowd size. That's not peace. That's spam marketing. Real wars don't end because you charge 10% on Chinese steel. But sure, let's add it to his resume. Solved world peace between rounds of golf.
We have over $17 trillion in investment coming into the country. We never did anything even remotely close to that. No other country has either.
17 trillion? With a T? That's more than the entire US economy. And apparently, it just wandered in like a lost tourist. Where's he even getting these numbers? A Cracker Jack box? He just keeps inventing stats like he's trying to win Monopoly with cheat codes.
We're going to go on offense, not just on defense. Maximum lethality, not tepid legality. Violent effect, not politically correct.
Maximum lethality. Pete, that's not a doctrine. That's a new Mountain Dew flavor. And violent effect, not politically correct. What is this, a Marvel villain audition tape?
We're going to raise up warriors, not just defenders. So this War Department, Mr. President, just like America, is back.
Raise up warriors? Bro, you're announcing a Call of Duty expansion pack, not a national policy. And calling it the War Department doesn't make America back. It just makes us sound like we're compensating for something.
The prisons of Venezuela have been opened up to our country. They've taken their prisoners, the worst prisoners, murderers, Tren de Aragua.
Oh yes, the old Venezuela emptied its prisons into America tale. Spoiler, there's no evidence of this mass jailbreak tour. But sure, let's picture Southwest Airlines running the new Murderer Rewards program. 1 free stabbing for every 10 flights.
The worst prisoners that you can ever imagine are now happily living in the United States of America. Now, many of them we've gotten out.
Happily living? Like they're renting Airbnbs and joining Little League? And what's this we've gotten out? Did you personally drive the prison bus? The only thing getting out here is reality. Straight out the back door.
Cashless bail, what a disaster that is. You murder somebody, you don't have to put up bail. And you go out in the street and you murder somebody else. That's what's happened.
Whoa, easy there, Netflix True Crime Channel. That's not how bail reform works. If you murder someone, you don't stroll out with a free pass and a coupon for your next homicide. Judges still deny bail for violent crimes. Cashless bail was about low-level, non-violent offenses. You know, so people don't rot in jail for unpaid parking tickets. But sure, in Trump's America, every shoplifter is a serial killer in training.
And when I see boats coming in like loaded up the other day with all sorts of drugs, probably fentanyl mostly, but all sorts of drugs, and we're going to take them out. And if people want to have fun going on the high seas or the low seas, they're going to be in trouble.
High seas, low seas, okay, Dr. Seuss. And this wasn't a historic strike. It was the easiest target ever. A rickety boat, maybe carrying drugs, maybe just sunscreen, but sure, let's call it total annihilation so we can rebrand defense into the Department of War. And there you have it, Trump declaring war on a dinghy full of sunburned jet skiers. Stick with me, because this is what counts as national security now. Hit subscribe.